What's a game? What's a game? What's a game? I'm a Kamen Rider.
What's up, everybody? It's the Quarter Guy, and first off, I need to apologize for not having one of these in like a couple months. A lot's been on my plate lately. Starting to get settled into my new job, and a lot's been on my mind with the state of the world and all that, so I want to be more consistent with these, to be honest. I know I've said this before, but sometimes it's hard to find a topic to stick to for a week, and sometimes it's hard to commit to it for me. I at least hope you understand. Anyway, I did find a topic to latch onto early in the past week. Thing is, it really started with, actually in the past few months actually, it started with a really disparaging comment on a live stream by Mike Z, who is the head coder at Lab Zero Games, the developers behind Skullgirls and Indivisible. And as it turns out, it was far from an isolated incident, as members of Lab Zero would come out to say. Apparently, Mike Z had been creating a very toxic environment at Lab Zero, including going through some really shady bullcrap to ultimately become the sole owner of the studio. There have been stuff like harassment, racism, and generally being an a-hole. And what that's done, it's gotten to a breaking point, and many people have left Lab Zero because of this honestly inexcusable behavior by one of its core members. Granted, I wouldn't want to work for someone like Mike Z either, from what I'm seeing. But it really takes guts to walk away from something you've really put your heart in. Well, not so much put your heart. Well, not just walk away from Skullgirls, but walk away from a studio that you've invested so much in. But for it to be because of this, I feel really sorry for those people having to put up with all that. Eventually, you just have to say no more. But I stand by those workers' decision to leave. And it turns out that Autumn Games, who holds the IP for Skullgirls, and I forgot the name of the other developer. The one who does the one for mobile. Oh yeah, Hidden Variable, that's who they were. So, yeah. Autumn Games and Hidden Variable released a statement that they were cutting ties with Lab Zero because of the allegations. That is a smart move, though. Autumn Games, I have heard, kind of stiffed the Lab Zero people anyway, so I haven't verified that, but I have heard that, so I'm not sure, but at least having a statement of support is at least something, so I hope all those people who left Lab Zero will find good work with a good developer. Or they could create their own studio together, just without Mike Z around. My best wishes to them. Alright, I've got some updates, so... Alright, first off, my sub points on Twitch have reached 15, so I unlocked a new emote slot, so there's a new emote for my Twitch viewers to use. And also, I was planning on doing Uno for a special celebratory stream, but considering this is Ubisoft's Uno, and Ubisoft did something rather ugh, and that's putting it lightly. I'm no longer so sure about having Uno be the game game to play for that. Also, I apologize for those of you who have contributed clues for Guess That Video Game. Like I said, I've had a lot on my plate, so I will get to that, don't worry. And for those of you who saw my latest QG at the arcade, you might have seen a hint as to the next countdown. Normally I just make a whole anime-esque next time plug, but this time it is a collab with you might know him as one of Josh Scorcher's editors. His name is Count Shaman, and he has his own channel and he makes videos of his own. And he expressed interest in collabing with me related to Mega Man Zero. So I am shooting for the 25th of September for the release of. Well, we are shooting for the September 25th for the release of Top 10 Worst Mega Man Zero Bosses. Yeah, I did Top 10 Mega Man Zero Bosses back in July. And very shortly, people were looking forward to seeing a worst list, so might as well get that out of the way now. Yeah, and speaking of which, like I said, the 25th, I am trying to make that my target date for major releases going forward. To have a consistent day of release. Kind of like how Josh has his countdowns every 1st and 15th, and Rabbit has his major videos every Sunday, so I figure a more consistent schedule will help me in the long run, especially considering the algorithm has not been all too kind to me. I guess that's all the updates I have for now. And for my question of the week, who is your favorite Skullgirls character? As always, leave your answers in the comments. Favorite comments will be featured in the next episode. Here are last episode's winners. And with that, time for the Fourth Wall Mailbag. As always, look for the community post, send me your questions there, and I'll answer my favorites in the next episode, whenever I get to it. Alright, first question this week comes from the Mr. Gamer 2011, who asks, if Nintendo asked you to design a DLC character for Smash Ultimate, what franchise would you use? Assuming that it is not a franchise currently represented. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be an odd one, aside from the ones I've already brought up in previous lists. I might have said this at some point, but this is going to be an odd pick for some of you, but I think it's appropriate. Yuden from Dragalia Lost. I brought up in my second Smash Brothers Most Wanted Characters lists a few from Fire Emblem Heroes, considering Nintendo has gone to the mobile market, but we have 8 Fire Emblem characters now, and another franchise that would represent Nintendo's foray into the mobile markets, and probably their best one, would be Dragalia Lost, their collaboration with Cygames. I have talked about it before, but I do think that Yuden would be a great pick for a character, even though some people would say otherwise because her mobile game bad. But I think Yuden has some great potential for a moveset, great personality, and great potential for spirits, and especially the soundtrack. I love Dragalia Lost's soundtrack. So, that's who I'd like to see. Next question comes from Volting Master, who asks, thoughts on Sakurai no longer talking about the games he's playing to avoid fan speculation? I think that's honestly a good decision for his mental health, because you know how the Smash community can get. They probably scrutinize every little thing, looking for some little sliver of a hint as to the next character. I mean, they could say he's been talking with Hideaki Itsuno, and then they probably speculate, ooh, Dante's next, or he's been playing Kingdom Hearts lately, ooh, Sora's next. Not saying that those guys don't have a chance, but is it really fair to Mr. Sakurai for his every action to be put under a microscope? I don't think it is. Next question comes from Jack the Lightning Ripper, who asks, are you interested in Kogen, Sword of Rewind? Yeah, I saw a trailer for that game, and it looks pretty interesting. That whole side-scrolling hack and slash. I mean, I had fun with Mega Man Zero, so... But I also have some interest in that little time rewind mechanic. Basically, you can trigger it and rewind a few seconds to recalculate your strategy. That's what the impression that I got from it was, so... Cool mechanic. Time manipulation can be pretty cool if used properly. So this is one that's going to be on my watch list for a while. Next question comes from Jesus A. Adorno, who asks, do you have any thoughts on Rockman X Dive so far? So yeah, Rockman X Dive is the mobile game that's... Well, technically it's only supposed to be available in some certain countries, but anyone can download it because you can download the APK to your phone. And on the one hand, I've had surprisingly little trouble with the controls, despite it being on a mobile game and being a platformer. And I appreciate the amount of fan service with all the characters being added in and the venues being explored. And there are plenty of events to keep players occupied. That being said, drop rates can be a problem with it being a gacha. And probably the biggest issue right now with the game, freaking lag. Both with PvP and with co-op. Also, the PvP, sometimes when I get into a match, the other player doesn't respond at all. It's like the plug just got pulled out from them. So, I've had fun with it, but it is definitely jank. And it definitely needs work before it's even close to being ready for a global release, if that even happens. I just hope they're not pinning the entire future of the Mega Man X series on that, because, ooh, that would be stupid. Last question this week comes from Master of Jean Alter, who asks, if Arc System's got a character in Smash, who do you think are the most likely candidates? That's easy. Ravna, Soul, done.